Welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast with Core 4 Complete Fitness. Your episode is starting in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, peoples. Happy Wednesday to you all, guys. It is
baby.
the 12th of June.
Crazy.
July. Hope you
Halfway
guys are
through
having a
June.
great day. Like always, if you could do us a favor before we talk about today's topic, and just subscribe to this podcast, whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on any single platform, Spotify, iTunes, Audible, all that stuff. There's a little subscribe button on your platform. If you could press that, you'll get notified right away when we drop a new podcast, and it will help us bump up the charts, and we will keep cranking these out for you guys every single week. So it's a little give and take relationship.
Please do that.
Please, and thank you. Now today, guys, we wanted to talk to you about kind of like goal setting 101 and realistic expectations for yourself, and how to put everything basically into perspective of going, okay, I'm a parent, I work 6, 7, 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day, or if you have a crazy shift, if you're a nurse or a doctor or something, how do you go, okay, I want to get to point A to point B still, and how do I plug and play that into my day-to-day life? And Evan, you had kind of a good point where you were talking about, if you look on whatever, Instagram, Facebook, Netflix, and you'll see like these celebrities and these influencers, and they get like jacked to shit, and like, oh, we're going to get canned now because I said the S word right into it. But they get jacked as heck super duper quick for movies and things like that. And people are like, oh my God, well, if this guy can do it, I can do it. And yes, I don't want to discourage you, but I also want to put realistic expectations into your head. And a lot of this is going, okay, these people also, they have chefs, and they're able to work out sometimes 2-3 hours a day and plug and play a couple lines in a movie, and then they can do that the next day and the next day, the next day, and that's kind of what their life throws at them. Now, for the common man or for the common woman, people like us, where we have jobs, we have kids, we have events we have to go to, probably not feasible to go, I'm going to go hit the gym right now for 2.5 hours, and I want dinner to be chicken and broccoli every single day, and if it's not chicken and broccoli, then I want to have it just set out in the fridge. You can try it, but your spouse probably won't like you very much within the first 24 to 48 hours. So we want to talk to you guys today basically on how to set yourself up for success, how to set goals for yourself, and realistically, looking at it big picture wise, knowing that it's okay to go a little bit slower and be able to kind of live your life as a normal human being.
Yeah, exactly. That was a great summary. I like what we talked about earlier. For me personally, I had like kind of I had to, and we've actually have touched on this in the past, but keeping this focus on this little section like we talked about briefly before we started recording. Like for me, I got to a point where I was very much competitive in fitness, and I wanted to be good at it, and I wanted to lift heavier than the person next to me. I wanted to be faster than the person next to me. I wanted to be very, very in the competitive space. So I would see other people, and it would be motivating and inspiring for me to continue to work harder. Now, this was no kids. I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. This was all I did. I'd go to work, part-time work, 4-hour days or an 8-hour day or whatever. And then I would just go to the gym. I go to the gym in the morning and night. And it consumed all of my life. So now, sometimes I'll catch myself chasing that guy. And I go, man, I used to be able to lift heavier. I used to be faster. I ran, and I was just thinking about this because I was running. And I actually texted the boys. I was like, man, I feel like I'm so slow now running, like with what my times are. And I'm comparing myself. So I ran a half marathon like 5 or 6 years ago. And I was able to keep a fast pace. And now it's like I can't keep the pace I ran 13 miles in for 3 miles. And it was just, I constantly find myself catching myself. That's just one example. And going, my life is different now, and the place fitness has in my life is different. And if I wanted to and needed to and had the desire to, I could frame out and carve out more time and commit that much time and effort to it and get back there. I could, but then you get realistic and you go, well, that means less time with my family, which I'm not willing to give up. That means working less, t- less time working on career stuff, which I'm not willing to, because the career stuff has to do with my family stuff. So you just kind of grow and learn this kind of place of what it is. And I kind of had to have this awakening, because I would do a workout, whether it be in the gym or I'd go for a jog, like I said, that felt slow, and I'd feel weaker or less mobile or slower or something, and I wouldn't get that same kind of endorphin rush and dopamine feeling and all the mental benefits you'd get, because you go, well, I've seen myself push harder before. I know I can push harder. I kind of coasted. I didn't lift as heavy. I didn't go as fast. Yada yada yada. And I kind of needed to, remind myself to the fact of, oh, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not as competitive anymore. Some people still are. Some people still aren't. But fitness has a huge role in my life. But right now, it's the big picture, being able to move, being able to be independent for a long, long time, being able to provide for my family, yada, yada, yada. So I sometimes wonder, and if there's anyone listening to this who might feel similar to me, I guess that was the point of bringing this up, is uh, being able to align your goals so that when you catch yourself in the middle of a jog going, man, I used to run 13 miles at a faster pace than this. What's going on? I'm weak, I'm slow, I'm old, I'm fat, I'm blah, 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 blah. I go through all of this negative self-chatter to be able to stop it and be like, oh, hang on, okay. I just have realistic expectations. And I'm fine. Like, it's not like I feel like I've gained, 50 pounds and let myself go and don't care about. I still do all of that stuff. It's just a way less intensity, and it's enough that allows me to have balance, to be very, very, present dad, work a lot, but all of the same old, same old.
But like you said, with that, like, you're like, okay, I found a good, like, kind of coexisting with everything. Where you're like, okay, family's good, job is good, workout's good, health is good. But you're like, okay, right now, if I bump too much up focusing on myself, then these other things kind of take a brunt and they take a
Right.
hit. And then I
Right.
got to rebalance that out. And I like to think of it like, and everybody can probably relate, like you think back to when you were like, I don't know, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, maybe up to your early 20s, where like you would be able to kick your butt in the gym. Your diet probably wasn't as squeaky clean as it is now as you're older in life, and you still did okay. And you think if you kept that same formula, we'll say it's 80% workouts, 20% diet, and you could cheat like crazy and everything would be okay. If you took that same individual when you were around 20 years old and applied them to when you were 30 or 35 or 40, there's no way you could kind of keep up with that pace. So you have to remember, like, as you have all these ebbs and flows in life, and especially as you begin to get older, those percentages are going to shift a little bit. Maybe now it's okay. My workouts, I'm still going 5 days a week. I can't go like a bat out of hell, but I used to. So that means diet. I'm going to make it a little bit more focus on my diet and nutrition now to kind of counterbalance that out. And then same plan. You get older and you're like, okay, I'm still going to the gym 5 days a week. Maybe I'm not doing X, Y, and Z or deadlifting, 300 pounds like I used to, but I'm going to make sure that I still do deadlifts. It might be a lighter weight, but now again, I'm going to really focus on my nutrition. And it's kind of always this like recalibration act that you always have to do with your body. Especially as we get older. And I think with people, they kind of have this false perception of reality when it comes to goals, because we've talked about this before. Everything nowadays is just like fast and immediate. If you want something, you want it at your door immediately. If you want food, you want it at your door immediately. If you want to drive through food, you want it immediate. Everything is just quick, 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 quick. So fitness and getting healthy and in shape is one of those things that like you can't cheat, where it's going to be, it is what it is. And now a lot of it's dependent on the individual. If you have 100 pounds to lose, you might lose 10 in the first couple weeks, but your body, again, always kind of goes through this recalibration where once you kind of get off that big brunt of the weight, it starts to slow down and recalibrate, and it goes, I can't continue to lose this amount of weight this quickly. So everything kind of finds like a happy medium again, where you lose, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds a week. You might have a week where you crush it and lose 3, but everything kind of levels itself out over time. And when you're setting goals, think of that long term too. Don't take it by a day-to-day basis or even a week-to-week basis sometimes. Is look at it long term and go, okay, this month I lost this amount of pounds, and the next month I lost this amount of pounds, the next month I lost this amount of pounds. It just helps to kind of take you out of the moment of being reactive and going, for whatever reason, your weight can jump up, it can jump down. If you got to go to the bathroom, if you ate too much salt, if there's food in your belly, if you got to go to the bathroom, all those things will make the scale go up. But it doesn't mean that you did a single thing wrong. So if you're constantly jumping on the scale every 24 hours and you get 2 or 3 days out of the week that it doesn't agree with you, all of a sudden you break the cycle of, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistency and habits, and you're just going into reactive mode. And you're like, oh my gosh, I gained a pound or I gained a half a pound. I'm not going to eat today. Or I'm going to hit the gym for 2 hours, or I'm going to do this. And there's no consistency. You're just going ping, 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 ping.
It forces you to go into that negative headspace, like I mentioned. Yeah. It forces you to go, I'm doing what I used to do and something's not working. When in reality, that's not the case at all. But it forces you to jump ship, forces you to get frustrated and to quit or reduce your effort or whatever. And this is like almost what I was referring to back then, is like workouts look different now for me as what they used to, right? That doesn't mean I'm not still getting a good workout in. Nutrition looks different now than it used to. That doesn't mean I'm still not taking care of myself nutritionally, right? So like back then, for example, it was a paleo diet. That was my big popular thing. And I would go in the morning and I would do a workout, good cardio workout, and then I would go back at night and do lifting, Olympic lifting or heavy back squats, bench press. And I would do this every single day. And then I would work at the gym in Milford for a little while, or it was at Donnie's office, but that was all I would do all day. And it was just a paleo diet, which is nuts, seeds, lean meats, vegetable. That was it. 0 carb, whatever. So I don't have to do all that to still take care of my body. Obviously, I've learned as I've just grown, and I don't want to do all that. But if I start looking at myself in the mirror and compare my body now, for example, to what my body looked like then, I'm never going to be happy or content. I'm always going to have this, well, it's not what it used to be. Well, it's not what it used to be. And it's just that everything works different now, right? My workouts aren't the same. I'm not going to dedicate 2.5, 3 hours to the gym. I'm not going to the gym twice. I'm at the gym for work, and then I work out, and then I'm home. And when I'm not home, I'm not doing gym stuff because I've done enough gym stuff for that day, right? And that priority shifting is just being very, very honest with what things are going to look like. So if I start looking in the mirror and comparing to that guy, I'm never going to be happy. And like you said, I'm going to start comparing, and I'm going to go, oh, something I'm doing is not working. This is bad. I might as well just eat whatever I want. Might as well not go to the gym, or maybe I'll just go 2 days a week instead of 4 days a week, or whatever, the thing is. Instead of just fast forwarding and going, Yeah, okay, I move at a slower clip. I have more things going on. The gym isn't that big of a priority. It's still a very important part of my life. It's always going to be. Uh, but this is what workouts look like. This is what workouts feel like now. If I tried to do a crazy double like that, I would get injured immediately.
Oh yeah, and you
It's
just be
just,
sore as hell for
yeah,
4 days after.
yeah. I would have to ease in so slow to ramping back up into that stuff. And you know what? Who knows? I could say this, and 5, 6, 7 years from now, my life might be in a way that allows that to happen. I can't see that happening, but who knows? And then I go, okay, I'm gonna get really competitive again. I'm gonna start to do this, and then you kind of find your niche, or it could be the opposite. I could be, my workouts could be way less than they are even now. 5, 6, 7 years from now, but it's the health picture, right? If I every single day go, okay, I did something good for my body today. I'm definitely watching what I'm eating. I'm limiting the processed crappy foods. I'm drinking water. I'm getting good sleep, getting electrolytes, and I work out nearly every day, and I get 10,000 steps for sure every single day. It's like, okay, dude, you're doing a lot of good stuff. You're good. You look like a healthy 31-year-old dude. You don't look or act or feel, or you're not limited, you're not this, you're not. So it's just being honest, you know and if it's easy to get stuck and look at all the comparisons, like the movie stars and the this, and go, oh, well, Angelina Jolie's 50 and she looks like that or whatever, and go, okay, well, that's not even this. They're playing this fantasy life world thing. They're not even doing anything
She's not a
even
nurse
remotely.
working 12 hours, midnight
It's
shift,
exactly the
and
same.
driving her
It's what
kids to school. And
it's Kelly Stafford, right? She's we'll limit the comment on her because she's fun to make fun of. But she she'll post videos. She has 4 kids, and then she posts all these videos about relating to all these moms, and it's like she's in these personal boxing videos, and she's like this itty bitty thing and tiny. It's like, okay, she's not she's not doing what you're doing, ladies. If you're comparing yourself to her, you're living two different, completely different lives. She has chefs, she has full time nannies, she has, I mean, she's not doing the same stuff. If she's 8 weeks after giving birth in a boxing class in her
yeah,
own private gym in her basement, where's the sign? Okay, what do you
you're not even
compare?
going back to work at 6 weeks, most people.
Exactly. Like, it's not even the thing. She doesn't, and I'm not saying, well, that her life is easy or whatever, but in that regard, if you're comparing, oh, she's a mother of 4. It's like, no, not the mother of 4.
Yeah,
She's a life, and that's okay. She's still a human being. She's still worth whatever. But when she's trying to, like, well, it's hard to be a mom. It's like, okay, well, you're playing 2 different games here. That's like
yeah.
me, whining about like having 2 legs or something. It's like, well, I mean, come on, what are we doing here?
I was
I don't know.
watching a video. There was an interview with Jason Momoa, and you know how like he did the Aquaman movies, and he
Yeah,
got like jacked.
yeah,
So he's all cut up, and they interviewed him, and they were like, "Yeah, like you're a guy. Obviously, you're in great shape." And he's like, "Not right now." And they were like, "He's like, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "I hate working out." He's like, "When they have a movie for me, he's like, I will kill myself in the gym 2.5 hours a day. I will eat whatever they tell me to eat." He's
yeah,
like, it's miserable. He's like, it's not sustainable. And he goes, the minute we're done filming, he's like, you won't see me in the gym until another movie starts.
yeah. People
And
do
he's like,
that.
yeah, he's like, I completely fry myself out.
Yeah,
But he's like, it's what you have to do to where he's like, by the time the movie's setting to, premiere, he's like, it's the last place that I want to be. So it
right.
does just help put it in perspective when it's like, okay, there's the downside to it too, to where you're like, this is burning me out. I'm exhausted. I'm fatigued. Now taking care of myself is the last thing that I want to do. So when you can kind of ride that crest and you're like, okay, I'm getting it done. I'm getting it done. I got a good balance, some harmony with everything.
Yep.
That's kind of the ticket to doing it day in and day out.
It is, and it's checking in with your body, going, I like the way I look, I like the way I feel, and if you are really like I don't like one of these things are changing. It's making a little tweak and a little adjustment and finding something that works. It doesn't mean going harder in the gym. It doesn't mean staying longer in the gym. Maybe it means, a little more nutrition hone in, like you said earlier, or whatever. But it's just being very realistic. And anytime you walk through the supermarket and you see a guy or a girl that's like, whoa, I wish I had a body like them, they're lucky. They're not lucky. They commit more time than you would even know obsessing about nutrition and workouts and blah 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 blah. They're not dedicating their time to their children as much as you, or their careers, or their job. That is their career. That is their job. It's a different vibe. That's why
Yeah.
you see that's why you see so many of the big buff bodybuilders that turn into dads all of a sudden have a big belly. So their shoulders are still real broad and they still got big arms, but they got that big belly. It's like, well, something had to give. They're not they're not able to do it all the whole time, or whatever. So that is their job. So when you're going to work 8 hours in a cubicle, they're going to work 8 hours in the gym atmosphere. So yes, they have the ability to do more. And it's not the genetic thing drives me nuts. Oh, I wish or look at her, she's lucky, or this, or he's lucky. I wish I was the. It's like
They still work hard. I mean, it's going to
this.
play a small sliver, but it's not like it's like we were talking about. It's not
No,
the big piece of the pie.
no,
They're like, yeah, they got good genes and they go to the gym once a week. Their diet
right,
sucks, but they have good genes. And you're like, yeah, well,
yeah.
you're
Well, we'll
not going to
have people.
cheat the system.
I'll never forget. We had this guy who came in, and he was like this, mid-50s guy, and he's like, well, listen, my kids are all out of the house, empty nester now. I'm excited. I want to do a flagpole. You know what that is? Like that move where you can
Oh,
sink.
yeah. I was just talking about this last week.
Really? I'm like, hey, that's great. He's like, you think I can get there in a few months? And I wanted to be like, no,
Nope.
that is incredibly hard to do. Of course, I didn't say that, but I was just like, well, we should look up some video. I don't know the first thing about doing that. All I know is it's incredibly hard, takes a ton of core strength and shoulder strength and yada yada. And I go, well, let's try to look up some videos and look into it. We can work on it every day, 15 minutes after class. And I was like, you're definitely going to lose weight. And you're definitely going to get stronger just doing these sessions stuff. But just like that kind of mindset thinking, well, as long as I do something, I can do the same thing that all these movie people do. It's like, hang on. Like those, no. Have you ever gotten up on Olympic rings before? Like,
Oh, like a muscle up with them?
yeah, but not even done a muscle up, just hung from them. Have you ever just felt what a ring is, and then you watch Olympians and gymnasts and what they do on those rings? If you just there's nothing more humbling than just hang, or go to a monkey bar and just hang from a monkey
Yeah.
bar.
1 minute, your hands are killing you. Your forearms are killing you.
It's not even, and it's just like, oh, okay. So next time I look at somebody who's like freakishly talented at this, I can't start letting that negatively impact my thought about, oh, I'm not blah 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 blah. Instead, go, wow, that person dedicates a ton of time to that. If I want to do that, I need to restructure my whole entire life. Do I want to restructure my whole entire life? No.
Every
Okay.
day, I got to work on this, and I got to work
Yeah.
on my core strength, and even just like shoulder stability, like having to
Oh, it's a ton
lock
of
this
stuff.
position in. I mean, try to hold like a shoulder press, like a farmer's carry, for 30 seconds, and you're just
Oh, I
on
know.
fire. Yet alone, your whole body weight sideways. Your legs are, I mean, even just your legs start to droop.
Yeah,
Like, it's freaking hard.
it's hard.
But
It's hard.
it is what it is.
That is
Young
all.
man looked good, though, at hockey. I didn't know
Oh,
if you were 31 or 21. Played well.
that's very kind. First time in a few months since we were crowned champions. First time.
I know.
Yeah.
You want to go on Saturday? Can you run out for Father's Day?
I would
You
love
guys
to.
have shit going on.
I'm in. I should be in.
All right. Well, cool beans, people. Before we start talking about our daily lives to you guys, like always, should you need anything supplement-wise to help you get in shape, if you head to core4supplements.com, We have the best tasting stuff around, from protein shakes to BCAAs to pre-workouts to sleep gummies to energy gummies. We got vegan protein, everything under the sun, collagen peptides. Should you need anything to help you get in shape and stay healthy, if you go to core4supplements.com and you use the code word podcast when you check out, you will save 10% off of everything. So before you hit the checkout button and enter in your information, make sure you use the code podcast. Again, so you'll save 10% off everything. And if you spend over $100, you get free shipping on everything that you order. So that is all, peoples. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Have a wonderful week. And we'll see y'all next week. Adios.
All righty. Bye-bye.